my name is Catherine Presley Herring, and I'm here to testify today as a survivor of domestic violence. I endured 7 assaults specifically aimed at forcibly aborting and killing the baby I was carrying. We are gathered here because we know that state legislatures work tirelessly to protect their citizens. I'm a living example of state legislation failing to protect the very people it was intended to safeguard. My husband was the first man in Texas to ever be charged with felony assault to induce abortion through Senate Bill 8. When that legislation played out, however, there were loopholes where the charges were dropped. Ironically, the charge of assault to induce abortion got canceled out by the charge of assault of a pregnant person. A terrible oversight that I hope to work with the Texas legislature to fix. As we know, the chemical abortion pills obtained by my husband were clearly not prescribed to him. He then poisoned 7 drinks with the dosage of his choosing. To briefly walk you through the assaults, it's important to discuss the first incident, the one and only time I consumed the poison. That morning, my husband feigned care and concern for my pregnancy, urging me to stay hydrated. He sweetly brought me breakfast in bed. It seemed odd in the context of him asking for a separation just weeks before. He'd been caught in a lie, pretending to work late, but when I arrived at his office, there was no one to be found. He was furious I had checked on him. I was asking too many questions. My role had been established years before as the supportive stay-at-home mom for our then 2- and 6-year-old children. He was a busy trial attorney at the height of his career. I found out I was pregnant just 1 week after he asked to separate. It was a shocking surprise. But my husband agreed to attend marriage counseling, reassuring me that everything would be fine. When he brought me breakfast that fateful morning, I was hopeful. Maybe we could work things out. As I enjoyed my breakfast and talked with him, however, his mood slowly turned from sweet to impatient. He urged me to drink faster, saying if I started each day with a full glass of water, it would be good for me. I started to feel uneasy. Why was he at the house so early when he was choosing not to live there anymore? He then started becoming visibly angry, demanding I drink faster, chug the water. At that moment, I pulled the cup away and looked into it for the first time. It was not clear. It was cloudy. My brain could not comprehend what I was looking at. I said, "What is this?" He immediately jumped up and grabbed the cup from my hands. He stumbled through some explanations, suggesting maybe it was a dirty cup or the pipes were dirty. He immediately left the house, taking the cup with him. I tried to go back to sleep, tried to shake off the encounter, but the effects of the pills caught up with me approximately 30 minutes later. I started feeling extreme cramping. I suddenly and urgently felt the need to go to the bathroom. I did not make it from my bed to the bathroom. The embarrassment of the Associated Press reporting around the world months later that I had diarrhea in my pants is nothing compared to the level of sickness that created the malady. It happened not once, but twice. I tried to get my body to calm down, but I continued to get sick for hours. I wondered what I could have consumed. Was he trying to hurt me or the baby or both? During those frantic moments, I serendipitously remembered a news article I had seen describing the backlash Google was facing from banning abortion reversal pill ads. At the time, I thought, what is an abortion reversal pill? But I had not stopped to read the article. That morning, my maternal instincts kicked in, and I knew I needed to protect my baby. I began a Google search and called a pregnancy hotline number who connected me with a nurse. We talked through what had happened and what could have been in that cup. She explained that if my husband had spiked my drink with abortion pills, they would work by cutting off my hormone production. To counteract the drug, I needed to take progesterone. She explained that this was an abortion reversal pill. Miraculously, I had been prescribed progesterone with a previous pregnancy, and I had some in my medicine cabinet. I was able to take the necessary dose immediately. I continued to get sick throughout the day, however, and was soon bleeding. The pregnancy hotline nurse, still in contact, urged me to go to the emergency room. Upon check-in, they asked for a urine sample. I walked out of the bathroom, providing them with a sample that was black in color. The nurses rushed to get a doctor. They believed I was going into kidney failure. I began antibiotics, and an ultrasound was conducted. I have never been more relieved to see that tiny heartbeat. I remained in the hospital approximately 8 hours. I continued my progesterone dosage throughout the next day as the bleeding finally subsided. Sadly, the poisoning attempts were just beginning. The very next day, my husband hid more chemical abortion pill drugs in cranberry juice. I did not drink it, but instead collected it, along with 5 subsequent drinks over the next few weeks. Drink number 7, the final drink, was made by my husband in our kitchen while standing under a hidden camera that had been installed by my private investigator. The Houston Police Department was able to confirm that it contained misoprostol, a chemical abortion drug. I share my story today because no one should have abortion pills weaponized against them. My daughter Josephine is alive today because I stopped drinking the drinks that the person whom I loved and trusted the most in the world gave to me in a wicked act of deception. You may be curious to know the sentence that my now ex-husband received through a plea deal with the Harris County District Attorney's Office. For this crime, he received 180 days in jail and 10 years of probation. Plato once said the worst form of injustice is pretend justice. The precedent set by my case has long-term ramifications for society at large. We must ask ourselves, is this how we believe husbands should treat their wives? Should men be able to choose the children they want and discard those they don't want? How much time and money should it take for women to protect themselves against domestic violence? As someone who has unknowingly and unwillingly ingested chemical abortion pills, I stand before you today asking for your protection for other young women. As I wrap up my final thoughts, I'd like to share that one of the biggest comforts that has come from this experience has been the rallying cry of people across the globe on our behalf. Men and women representing all walks of life, all political parties. Holocaust survivor Elie Wiesel once stated, "There may be times when we are powerless to prevent injustice, but there must never be a time when we fail to protest." My beautiful family has been shattered by chemical abortion pill assaults. Nonetheless, I believe that what man intended for evil, God meant for good. I will continue to fight for justice for the safety of women, fellow victims of domestic violence, and miraculous Josephine as she battles the long-term effects of being poisoned by her father. Thank you.